Hello and welcome to Rhys Adventures. You join me today just outside Wellington Wood, outside the little village of Dolphinholme in Lancashire. And I'm here today because although this looks like any other ordinary wood, it's not. Because it contains a set of World War II bunkers which have been here for over 70 years now, in disguise as a forest. And we're going to go and explore them today. So I spotted these actually while driving through the other day, and we've come back for a cycle today just to have a look at them. And they're absolutely everywhere. Either side is lined with these World War II bunkers, which I found out were used to store ammunition in the early 40s. And it's incredible really that they still exist, some of them in quite good shape. So as you can see from the video just there, these are quite literally just off the lane which runs through the forest, and they're in pretty good condition considering all things. So we've got this sort of double layer of wall almost, so that one on the outside is more brick and mortar, then we've got this solid concrete one which actually caves in as well, but you can also see some of the remnants of the tin which would have lined it, which is probably why it's all pimply on the outside, but as you can see there's really not much of it left anymore as it is starting to all fall off. This one's actually in even better condition than the last one we were just at, and there's two of them side by side, which seems to be a running theme all the way up the road. Just across is another pair which match this one. So as you can see, they would have had an arched roof which would have come all the way down, and then quite a heavy front on it. I hope the sun doesn't block it out. As you can see, huge doors on the front down there, and then if you look just over those walls, there's the other one sat right next to it, and they would have been connected through that front entrance. I'm trying not to move too much because quite a lot of the collapsed roof is underneath my feet, as you can see. They must have all been demolished a while ago, but it's incredible to see really. I mean, it is history still alive from World War II, and you can imagine being here 70 years ago and you wouldn't have dreamt that I'd be wandering around on the roof of the building 70 years later. This building's even still got its original curbing, which would have led into the bunker as well, back there. It's amazing the features they actually still have left after all these years. The roofs have collapsed, the walls have collapsed, but they've kept those fundamental foundations, so you can still tell, and probably will be able to tell in 100 years' time, that they were once here. So this end one's actually in the best condition out of all of them, because we've got what appears to be an entrance corridor either side. There's that with a couple of hinges on, which must have held a door at some point. You can see the hinges up there as well. And then when you come in, you come into this sort of lower down area which would have been built up at the time. These bunkers were actually used to store ammunition mainly during World War II. So you can understand why they wouldn't have wanted anyone to find these and bomb them, because they would have been full of bullets and bombs and all manner of things used during the Second World War. It's incredible. This is just outside Dolphinholme, all these historical buildings just rotting away. I think these haylage bales sat here best represent what's happened to these buildings. Time has simply moved on and left them behind, just here in the woods, where nobody really knows what they were used for or how important they would have been at the time. But it's incredible that we've been able to come up here, wander around them, and only imagine what it would have been like to be here 70 odd years ago. If you want to come and see these, I will link in the location of where they are. Obviously be mindful when you're coming to see these historical buildings, because they're not protected at the end of the day. They are just here in the woods and open for anyone to see, and we should respect that equally as I have today. You know, I've really tried not to touch too many of the buildings in too many places, because it can cause a lot of damage to do so, especially on some of the old tin which is still left. It will fall off incredibly easily, I'm sure. But do come and visit these and imagine what it would have been like to be here 70 years ago. Thank you for watching this video today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please do subscribe. I'll see you next time.